of the Intuitive Femme Network. We are so blessed to have our guest today. This is the beautiful Shweta, and she is going to be educating us all about the chakras and giving us some really, really important information on how we can know if we have blockages in our chakras and maybe some tips on what to do about it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Nancy. It's so lovely to be here. Thank you for having me here. And so I am Shweta, and I am a Reiki healer. So of course, Reiki is all about energy healing, and so that's where chakra comes in the picture. I'm also a pranic healer. Pranic healing is also about chakra balancing. So I am a lot into healing, and simultaneously, I'm also a yoga teacher. I also teach yoga, and I am also a tarot reader, numerologist. So there are many things that I work on. And chakra is something that's kind of common in everything that I do, right? Like everything that I do, the one thing that's common is chakras. So this is the main reason why I have decided to focus on chakras, because I kind of can then stem into anything or rather branch into anything that I want to do from here. Okay, so that's the main reason that I've focused on chakras. And so let me tell you a little bit about chakras. Chakras are basically energy centers, like we know, and they are located in all over our body, but we focus on 7 of the major chakras, which are root chakra, which is the sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat, third eye, and the crown chakra. These are the major chakras that we focus on. And chakras are we basically manifest things in our energy world before they are manifested in the physical world. Okay, so that's why when you understand about chakras and when you can heal them or balance them, you can also actually avoid from a lot of things physicalizing, right? Like let's say you might fall sick 3-4 days later, but if you keep your chakras balanced and cleansed, then you don't fall sick 4 days later, because some things are like predetermined. Some things are just going to happen, So when you have your chakras balanced, what happens is even if you do fall sick, it will be really like just a sneeze or just a little bit of, uneasiness. But it can really be avoided when you keep your chakras balanced, because everything is manifested in the energy world first and then the physical world. So that's the amazing thing about chakras.
Wow.
And so let me tell you, let me tell you a little more about each of the chakras. So I will tell you the qualities.
I know a little bit, but not enough. So please, for me and for those that are like, okay, I've heard about these, but what exactly are they? How do they work? Please educate us.
Yeah, sure. So let's start with the root chakra, because that's at the base of our spine, and that's literally like the foundation, right? Like that's the human foundation. And if your root chakra, the root chakra quality is survival instinct. Our root chakra is what makes us kind of it is what, when it's balanced, your survival instincts are really high and really good. So let's say root chakra is about the basic necessities of our life. Money to survive. I'm not talking about money to, like big money. I'm talking about just money to survive. So that's root chakra. So a lot of people, again, who constantly think about money, but they think about the small things like, oh, am I going to be able to pay rent? Or am I going to be able to pay for my food tomorrow? Things like that. They're surviving on their root chakra. Okay. And when you normally have a blocked root chakra is when you have fear about these things. Like, will I be able to? Will I have enough money for food tomorrow? Will I be able to pay the rent? Right? Because these are survival things. These are not like major things to worry or think about, right?
Sure.
They are major things to worry about, but they are not like, you're not talking about. Yeah. So root chakra is survival. And so if you have a balanced root chakra, you normally are able to make money effortlessly for survival. You don't have fear of basic necessities in life. You also, root chakra is linked to taking actions, right? So a lot of times, like you might plan a lot of things, but you're unable to take that action, the physical action. That is root chakra. So again, if your root
Mm,
chakra is blocked, you're not able to take any action. You're like, you plan everything and you sit and then you're like, okay, I have to actually get up and do it now. You will not do it, right? So root chakra is very physical. And if you're not
okay.
grounded, then of course there are going to be major health issues, because health is with root chakra, your blood is root chakra, so root chakra is definitely the foundation and the main chakra. I mean, all the seven chakras are equally important, but you always have to start from the bottom, like from the foundation. So
Okay.
working first on your
Okay.
root chakra is extremely important. Yeah. So that's about root chakra. Do
That
you want
makes
me to go to
sense.
the next one? Okay. So the next one is the sacral chakra, which is also known as the sex chakra. And it is primarily for desire, right? It's for creation, it's for lower creativity. So, sacral chakra is extremely important for people to have a emotional balance. Like, if you know, most of our hormones, most of our organs, like feminine organs or male organs, are associated with sacral chakra. Okay, so therefore, the creation, like when you're creating a baby, and that's still a lower chakra because you don't need rocket science to create a baby, right? so that's
Sure.
so that's your sacral chakra. Imbalances there can
Mm,
have issues with, people conceiving. That can be a problem. Or
okay.
they have a lot of emotional imbalance. So they feel really sad all the time. They're very unhappy. They feel like their basic desires are not met, whether it's physical need or whether it's just someone, like buying them flowers and they could like, oh no, so didn't buy me flowers. I'm going to cry about this the whole day. That's like an imbalance in sacral chakra because your hormones are imbalanced,
Okay.
and so you're emotionally kind of not grounded. you know so and of course there
Okay.
are the physical aspect of it, there's the mental. There are many layers to every chakra. It's not just
Sure.
the physical layer, but there are different layers as well. So this is like how sacral chakra works. you know so
Okay.
like I said, you need it to be balanced. Otherwise, even if you have a good survival instinct, but if you're really sad in life, like what's the point, right? Like the basic desires in life, like for
Yeah.
instance, if your sacral chakra is balanced and you have like you want to do something and you just go ahead and do it. You don't feel like, oh, this person didn't do it for me, so I'm going to cry about it for like the next 2 days. Oh, I wanted to go out and eat and he didn't even think about taking me to my favorite restaurant. I'm going to cry about this. Someone with a balanced sacral chakra will fulfill their own desires. They don't need someone else to fulfill it for them.
Mm,
So it's
okay.
extremely powerful, right? And again, lower
Yeah, I can
creation,
see
like we
that.
were talking about manifestation.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see the connection
I,
too between the and the sacral. I pronounce it sacral. So again, forgive me for that. Um,
that's fine.
but
That's
I
fine.
can see
Sacral,
where it's really
sacral.
important that they're both balanced, because if the root is off and we can't take action, we're definitely not going to be able to fulfill our own desires because we won't take action towards fulfilling those. So it's making sense how it kind of builds on itself. It's very interesting.
Yeah, they're all like layer wise, right? Like your physical plane is your. I mean, if you look at it that way, it's like the root chakra takes care of your physical aspect. Your sacral chakra is taking care of your emotional aspect. And then it comes to the solar plexus, which is the eye center. Solar plexus is the eye center. It's the confidence center, right? So, like when you want to be
Okay.
a good businessman, if you want to kind of take really bold and big actions, that is the solar plexus. So, like I said, root chakra is where you have your necessities in life. But people who live
Mhm.
strongly in their solar plexus, they are the ones who do big things in life. They are the ones who have the biggest
Okay.
businesses. They have a lot of confidence. They have a lot of courage. Okay, that's like a strong solar plexus. But the downside is that there could be a lot of arrogance. If there is no balance, then there could be a lot of arrogance, there could be a lot of bitterness, like a lot of selfishness, jealousy. So these kind of attributes have come about when it's imbalanced. And when it's balanced, you can do great things in life. You have the confidence, you have the power, but you don't misuse your power. Which is why you need all these chakras to be balanced. Because even if you feel like you have healthy chakras because you are living like a fairly good life, but maybe you don't have a
Mhm.
balance where you're also mindful, where you are also kind of, you understand how to live in a community, you understand how to give back. You don't, like sometimes we like, okay, my sacral chakra is balanced, I feel desire for myself, I'm doing everything for myself, but maybe at some point of time we get a little selfish and we don't realize that I also need to kind of share this with someone else, right? Like my desires, I could
Yeah.
fulfill it myself, but it is always nice when you kind of give it back as well. So balancing these are extremely important on many levels. It's not just like for, like it could be depleted or overactive. So you don't want
Yeah.
either
It
of these.
almost,
You want it to be like just perfect.
I guess, in the sacral chakra and overactive would almost be like that toxic femininity where it's like, I don't need anyone. I can do everything on my own. I can, kind of having a struggle of receiving support because we've gotten ourselves into this kind of
Yes.
toxic feminine energy of hyper independence, and which isn't a good thing either. That's how we're going to burn out, 'cause it's not true. And as you're talking, it sounds like the solar plexus, if that's overactive, it's making me think of maybe people that display a little bit of like narcissistic tendencies, where it's that belief
Yeah.
and feeling of, you know I can do everything, I'm only accountable to myself, and I don't need to worry about anybody else or anyone else's feelings, like that kind of. It's like they're kind of overly confident in themselves, even though we know that personality behavior is like a massive, like, not confident. But it almost
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah.
that. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
wild.
What you're saying is completely, it's exactly what it is like. But also the thing is that, like I said before, that every chakra is kind of dependent on the other, right? So if you have an imbalance in any of the chakras, it reflects in some way or the other in the other chakras, so that's why it's extremely important to have balanced chakras. And unfortunately, the thing is that energy is something that a lot of people think is woo, like they think like, really, does it work this way, does it work that way, I mean, I came from the same mindset, right? Like before I started healing, I was someone who would have never ever thought that I would be a healer in this lifetime. Okay. And I literally like went just for a random session, like where these people had come and it was pranic healing, and they came and they're like, do you have any issues with health, like that happened right now? And if you do have something, we can clear it for you. And I had just started having this knee pain because I was doing a lot of yoga at that point of time. And I said, yeah, I have knee pain, and this knee pain was going on for like 3 months. So it's not something that was like a day or two old. It was like going on for 3 months.
Yeah.
And they literally healed me like not more than 5 minutes. And this was 8, 9 years back, and I have not got the pain back yet.
Wow.
That's how powerful energy healing is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, that you when you kind of start to understand energy healing, when you experience it, you really understand how amazing it can be. There is of course this physical benefit, like when you do healing on for physical pain, it works. But when you work on all the other levels as well, like your emotional, your mental, your energy, your spiritual plane, when you work on all
Yeah.
these levels, you go down to your karmic level of healing yourself. You literally, like, you
Yeah.
can get down to the karmic level of healing yourself. Yeah, so it's really
amazing.
powerful. It's really powerful. And these three chakras, the root, sacral, and the solar plexus are the three main chakras for the physical self, you know. The
Okay.
rest of it is more of energy and spiritual. But these three need to be extremely balanced to have a good physical, like a good life, you know, the external
Okay.
life. Like if you don't go internal, the external life, you need to have really balanced these chakras so that your external life is beautiful. Like you have money, you
Okay.
have good family life, you have your desires met, you have your health in place. For all these to be for the external world, like for the outside world, it's extremely important to have these three balanced, you know.
Okay.
And then,
So
of
happy
course, then
life.
there is the heart chakra, which is, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, to have a
Okay.
good,
So,
like, you know, some people, when you see them and you're like, hey, they have money and they are really happy in their relationships. They are really, really healthy. And at the same time, they are successful in whatever that they do, whether it's their business or their jobs. And, you know, there's just that overall satisfaction. So that is all these three lower chakras are working great,
okay.
right?
Okay.
But when you start working on the higher chakras, like once you get to heart chakra and above, then even your spiritual world starts to become really, really amazing. You know, it's not just
Okay.
the external, but you live a more conscious life. Like you live a more um, we-centered life, like a
Okay.
philanthropist. You give back a lot more. You go beyond I. You know,
Okay.
you go to we, and you go to helping people out and doing more with what you have instead of just focusing on yourself. So for that to happen, you need to go on the higher chakras. You know, when your higher chakras are balanced, then you kind of live a very fulfilled life, like a very all-rounded life,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So like when you come to the heart chakra is all about we center. It is love. You know, it is like
Mm,
giving back, compassionate. It is to love, and of course to love, like sacral chakra is love, like desire love, like lust love. But heart chakra is like love, like pure love, like what a mother feels for her child. You know, that's like heart chakra.
okay.
So, imbalanced heart chakra can, like people who have a lot of grief, like they feel like they have been betrayed in life, you know, especially from loved ones, they
Mm,
normally have a blocked heart chakra.
yeah.
And these people, they will
Okay.
have a lot of suffering in terms of they could have breathing issues, they could have asthmas, you know, heart and lung related issues physically. And
Mm,
of course, like if you
wow.
have a blocked heart chakra, automatically your energy will not be going up. So you end up really living in the lower energies. So having an open heart chakra is extremely important. So again, like when you learn about it, when you learn about all the chakras, then you realize how important it is to balance all the chakras. Because one imbalance, like someone with a really strong and congested solar plexus chakra, will have a affected heart chakra, right? Because they are so I centered, they are all about
Yes.
I, me,
Yep.
what I want, that they don't, yeah, they don't go to the we, you know, they don't go to the
Yes.
giving part of it at all.
I mean, it makes sense. Again, it's like the energy is going to go
Yeah.
from the start, the foundation, and up. And so, with those blockages, we're able to see how these are kind of expressing in life, but in emotions and emotional maturity and lots of things like that. So, it's really, really fascinating to see how it is. It's really all connected in that way.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's, I'm telling you, like, because I'm someone who was never aware of this. And from that to be teaching this today, I feel so lucky and at the same time grateful that I have been, you know, I've been allowed this, I've got the permission to understand about chakras so deeply because it's literally like the door to your inner world, you know? And
Yeah.
once you can tap into it, then your intuition, your just the decisions that you make. Like we talk about detachment so easily, but to really experience it, you need to kind of, go deeper beyond the physical world. And that's when you can really understand detachment and you really know how to kind of live your life without external factors affecting it. But for that, your energy centers
Okay.
really need to be clean and purified so that you can get to that level of understanding other very subtle philosophy or spiritual talks that, like if I tell you something spiritually, like about spiritual stuff, like let's say detachment, it sounds very easy, or it sounds like, yeah, we should do this, and but to actually go ahead and to experience
Yeah.
detachment, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
you
It's
know
very different.
and for that,
It's
a
not so
healthy
easy.
chakra is very, very important.
It's
Yeah.
so interesting. What do we have
So yeah,
next?
so
Is it
that's the heart
throat
chakra,
next?
and then the throat. Yeah. So the throat chakra is, of course, for communication, and it's for higher. Want to Sorry. So throat chakra is for higher creativity. So people who want to plan things, people um, who do creative stuff, like really high-end creative work, like let's say directors, actors, script writers, or even authors, and so on and so forth, right? Anybody who creates certain things, like even technology. But someone who is really good with creative skills, they have a very good, strong throat chakra. Okay. And again, of course, throat
Okay.
chakra is communication. So yeah, so even though you're creative, if you are not careful about, like someone with a really overactive throat chakra could end up saying some really nasty things and hurting people. Like they would not have
Okay.
a way of kind of controlling their communication. It's different than solar plexus because it's not like they are eye centered. But let's say they want to say
Okay.
something to you, they will maybe abuse you and say, like a lot of people have this
Okay.
habit of using abusive words when they are saying something, and they might like just say it to
Yeah.
you, like, you're an idiot, you don't understand anything, blah, 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 blah. But it's not that they are eye centered, it's just that they don't know how to communicate. Their communication is blocked in a way. Or also the other way around, where
Okay.
people are not able to communicate at all, right? Like they are not able to express themselves,
Yeah.
like when they go through, so that's again throat chakra. And these people will constantly have throat issues, like they will have some kind of pain, they will have cough, they will have irritation, So throat chakra, or they can have like ulcers, mouth ulcers, and stuff like that, like because they have a blocked throat chakra. So,
Yeah.
yeah, even thyroid problems, people who have thyroid problems, it's because of their throat chakra being
Wow.
blocked, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so like throat chakra is extremely important for higher creativity, communication, and communication. Again, when you speak about it from the spiritual world, it's like what I am doing right now, to be able to express myself and to be able to express. Let's say a teacher needs a really good throat chakra so that they can communicate and simplify the teachings.
Yeah.
Like I could say something of the same level in a very high, like if something that'll go over your head because it's like, what was that word and what is she trying to say, but someone with a good throat chakra will be able to communicate and simplify the information. So that's again another sign of a good,
Interesting.
healthy throat chakra. And normally singers, teachers, people who host really big events, people who like, for yourself as well, you will have like a good throat chakra because you're in the creative field. It's about communication, you have a podcast. So obviously your throat chakra is very active. And so that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Hear a lot of times women are constantly like clearing their throats. It's a really interesting thing that I've kind of noticed more, where it's like this need to clear the throat. And I've been wondering about that, where it almost seems like there's a block in that space energetically because we've been keeping our voice quiet. We've been holding back so much, especially as the feminine, thinking that we're not allowed to say what we
Yeah.
want. We're not supposed to speak up. We're not supposed to really be seen. And so we're healing a lot of that energy around that concept. And so this throat feels very blocked. And then it's those same feminine from this example that it's like once they get to a point, they just kind of explode. It's like one or the other, where it's like I either just don't say anything or I just get so far to this point where I just start screaming. I just like they're just explosive because it's like been so pent up and stuck in there. So is this kind of what we're looking at with this imbalanced throat chakra?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So if it's imbalanced, or rather if it's depleted, then this is what you go through. Like you go through this blockage and you feel like really heavy around your throat. And it's something that you kind of, it happens over years and years and years. And then you kind of have really, like you just feel uncomfortable, right? And you constantly have
Yeah.
like issues with coughing and, you know, like mucus and stuff like that, right? So yeah, so throat chakra is, like you said, because we are unable to express ourselves and we keep things stuck here, it literally gets stuck, the throat chakra. And so that also affects our higher
Wow.
creativity, right? Like someone who doesn't have the
Yeah.
ability to express themselves wholly, you will normally see they're very timid. And so if you're timid, then automatically your solar plexus is affected. And if your solar plexus is not affected and you're timid because you're unable to say, then you have a lot of anger issues because your solar plexus is active
Oh,
and you're not able to express. And so you have like a massive anger issue, and where, you know, it could
outbursts. Yeah.
manifest into, yeah, it could manifest into acidity, it could manifest into chronic acidity, it could manifest into heartburns, it could manifest into many, many different issues, right? Like because your
Wow.
solar plexus is fire. So imagine the fire element can burn you if you don't take care of it. So your throat chakra
Yeah.
needs to be balanced. It's like I said, all the chakras. You have to work on all of them. Otherwise, one imbalance, like I said now, can go down, down, down and start affecting the other chakras. So yeah,
Yeah.
to express yourself, extremely important, right? Yeah. So communication
That's
is extremely important, especially in today's time and age. Like a lot of people you will see, they keep saying that I'm not able to record myself, like for, let's say, Insta, or for, you know, like social media. A lot of people have this fear.
Yes.
So that's their solar plexus and throat blocked. So they don't have confidence,
Interesting.
and that is causing them to not show their creativity out there, and so that causes like blockage in their throat. So yeah,
Something
so
I
see, like
see.
if you just clear your chakras, you will automatically find that you have the confidence to kind of do a lot of things you're not able to do. That is how powerful it is, you know, when you have balanced chakras.
Women talk about in the like coaching space where they struggle a lot with their content. I don't know what to say. I'm afraid of saying the wrong things. And so it's interesting because we think, well, I'm using my voice right now to speak, but our content and our sales copy, our posts that we make, all of that, I'm assuming it's still coming from our voice. And so if we're feeling these blockages
Yeah.
and these struggles with actually sharing our truth and our authenticity, it sounds like, would that be underactive? Is that a block in that way?
Yes, underactive if you're not able to express yourself, and like I said, overactive when you communicate, but you don't like, you don't have control over what you're saying. You kind of are rude with the way you sound. You know, you
Yeah.
might sound like really
Yeah.
harsh because you are, you know,
Yes.
you have that your communication could be like blocked in, not blocked, but you could be overactive, and that communication kind of comes across as too much. Like, you know, this is too much.
Okay.
So throat chakra balance is extremely important, again, especially in today's time and age when everybody wants to do something on social media, everybody wants to be active. So to be able to be creative,
Mhm.
to be able to give, like, stop copying others and have your own creativity, to be able to say what you want, to be able to speak without feeling like, I hear a lot of people say that I don't like the way my voice sounds, and so I don't like to record myself. I don't like to say anything
Yes.
in the video, so on and so forth. So, once you clear your throat chakra and your solar plexus, all of this will start to kind of disappear. Like you will stop having these kind of issues, right?
Wow.
So extremely, extremely important.
Yeah, and especially for women and for business
Yeah.
women. I mean, that one's essential.
I'm just talking about like very basic stuff right now. Like in my coaching program, of course, I go very, very deep and I go on many different layers. So if this is sounding like, oh, I didn't know this, then when you do my coaching program, it kind of opens up a, like, oh my God, all of this, So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why, when you understand chakras and you know chakras, you get to know yourself much better. Like forget about everything else, but you just get to know where you're functioning from, where do you need to work on, what are your like we know ourselves the best, but we don't know why we are going through certain things in life, why I'm not able to do certain things in life. And once you understand about chakras and the energies, you kind of realize that, oh, okay, this is why, all right, this is how I can get out of it. Okay, if I do this, I can solve this issue that I have. It's that
Yeah.
powerful. And when you work on the energy level, what happens is in the beginning, you might not feel like that much of a change. But like I said, you manifest first in your energy world and then it comes out in your physical world. So the transformation is happening within, but sometimes for it to be reflected out, for it to be like visible to others and yourself in the physical world, it might take a little longer. But the change starts to happen from within, right? Like, I'll
Yeah,
just
that makes
tell you
sense.
a small thing that happened recently. Like, I'm doing the coaching program right now. We are like midway in one, and I'm going to launch a second one very soon. But the first one of my clients, she kept saying that, I just want to fly. I don't want any responsibilities, and I don't really care about anything. I just want to, like be spiritual and
Mm,
be on that journey. And then we did like the first healing was the root chakra, and in 3 days,
okay.
the same person told me that, hey, you know what? I've been thinking. I've learned all of these things. How do I turn this into business? Like, how do I make this into something that can like be lucrative for me, like more, how can I start giving others as well, so this thing happened with
Yeah.
just cleansing the root chakra. She started feeling
Wow.
grounded, right? And like she has
Yeah.
kids and stuff like that, so she felt very confused. She was like, I don't know, I mean, I have kids and I want to fly away. I don't know if it's right, but I don't know what to do. And just like one
Wow.
session, and she was talking about, and she didn't realize it, and I pointed it out to her, and she was like, oh my God, yeah, like 3 months back, 4 months back, all I wanted to do was fly away, and now I'm actually thinking about starting a business. And like it's the feeling of being grounded, like let's do
Yeah.
some work now. So that's how
Yeah.
powerful energy healing is. You don't realize, because it's very subtle. The way things happen is very subtle, but these are like some of the changes that come about immediately. So yeah, it's really powerful. And of course then it's the Agnya chakra, which is the third eye.
Okay.
Intuition, like higher intuition. Okay, this is higher will as well. This is lower will. This is eye center lower will. This is higher will. Higher will is when it
Oh,
comes to what I was talking about, right? Like when you have a problem in your life, okay, and um, so either you do something about it, and if it's not in your hands, you have to let it go, right? But most of the time we can't create that awareness. We don't know when to let go and when to actually realize that, okay, I can do something about it. So when you have like
okay.
when your third eye is really strong, you are able to have the willpower to kind of let go of certain things, because you are able to practice that. The practicing the letting go becomes very easy when you have very strong willpower in terms of the third eye, the higher will. The higher
Wow.
will is linked to more of spiritual like philosophies and spiritual aspect. That is your higher will. So when you have your Agnya chakra, which is strong, of course you can manifest like if you can manifest so much with your lower will, imagine how much you can do with your higher will, right? But
Sure.
higher will is of course like it's like third eye, right? Like if that's active, you can even see your future. If it's really really open, you can see your future. You can
Wow.
um you can like have complete control of your life. You can know when and where you are headed and how to go about it. So that's why the third eye chakra is extremely important. And in fact, in especially in India, people are very focused on the third eye, very focused, because like that's the chakra that kind of opens up the inner world, opens up to your inner world. But at the same time, without balancing your lower chakras, if you just focus here, it's going to be very messed up, very, very messed up. So
You want to fly
to
away,
kind
I
of
guess.
safely open your, yeah, I mean, you want to fly away. Exactly. You want to fly away. And more than that, what happens is, imagine having intuitive power, imagine having the ability to manifest anything, but without love aspect, without having your eye
Ooh.
center balanced, without having your sacral chakra desires in place. If all the other chakras are blocked and you just open this, then you're going to make a mess out of everything that you want in life and
Yes.
everything that you like
Wow.
that you see for yourself. So, and
Yeah.
honestly, like
Wow.
it's yeah, like to open like the third eye is, it's not, I will not say it's difficult, but it shouldn't be the goal. It should just happen like naturally. It should just happen organic, like, go with the flow. But go one chakra at a time, focus on them, heal them, energize them, charge them, and then keep going higher and higher safely so that everything
Okay.
is balanced the way it should be. Like once you balance everything the right way,
Yeah.
in the right order, then you have like a
Wow.
complete life. Then you have like, like, yeah, like a perfect mix of everything. And so for humans, I mean, of course, if you go to the spiritual side of it, the spiritual aspect of it, then spirituality is extremely important for humans. Otherwise our conscience will be dead. If you're not a spiritual person, I mean, if you don't work on your spirituality, your conscience will slowly like kind of deteriorate, and you will
Sure.
just live like in the, like the animal life with that kind of instinct.
Yeah.
So yeah, so working on your chakras is
Hmm.
super, super amazing, super important.
Are there
Absolutely.
any more chakras?
Yeah, there is also the crown chakra, which is on top of our
Okay.
head. The, this is like the chakra which once it's open, it's like the whole universe is yours. That's why we don't really work a lot on the crown chakra, because when you work on the crown chakra, it's very difficult to stay grounded, because you
Okay.
will want to do everything, which is amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Like anything that happens, anything that you can do, you will not think of yourself. You will think of everyone. Like let's say
Oh,
Buddha,
wow.
right? Like you will think of everyone, all the the God that we have in this entire universe, especially for Indians, because for Hindus we have many many gods, right? But
Sure.
everyone is like soul realized. So when you have an open crown chakra, you are soul realized, like you are God realized, soul realized, self realized. So opening the crown
Wow.
chakra is amazing for your spiritual journey. But again, without the balance of the other chakras, when you live in a regular householder, when you have a family to take care of, when you have other responsibilities, and you can't just be on your spiritual path, you need to balance all the chakras, have this experience as well, being one with your family and then being one with everyone else. But the balance is extremely important. And the crown chakra, like I said, is like a V center to a different level. Like it's like you will never be offended by anything anyone says, because you will literally be like, it's okay, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nothing will matter to you. You will forgive people
Wow.
like this. You will have, like, absolutely no aggression. You will have zero, not zero, but your desires are not going to be material desires. Your desires will be spiritual desires, like, how can I help people?
Yeah.
How can I change the world? How can I make people more educated about spirituality? Not about any other thing. But when your crown chakra is open, you will want everyone to be, like, blessed. You would want everyone to experience God.
Wow.
And that's the crown chakra. But when it's closed, if it's extremely closed, like, we all have, like, some part, a little bit of it is, we have that because we have a conscience, right? So we always
Hmm.
have a little bit of it open. And if it's completely closed, or if it's really, really, like, tiny, then, a lot of people who think they are spiritual, but they actually are not. they are they have a lot of differences in life, and they have a lot of opinions and judgments. Then,
Hmm.
like, you will
Yep.
kind of have yeah, and you're unable to take a lot of energy then. Like, a lot of energy from the source is very difficult to absorb when you have a
Okay.
closed crown chakra. So, yeah, so crown chakra is they are all extremely important. But like I said, for us, for, like, the householders, for people who have responsibilities, ideally work on the first three chakras, the root chakra, sacral, and the solar plexus, and then definitely the heart and throat. Like, if you can just work on these five chakras majorly, your life is going to be super balanced, super balanced. And then the third eye and crown is like a bonus. It's like, once you get there, you know how to control, and you know how to kind of adjust and manage the higher energies in the right way. Once the lower chakras are
Yeah.
balanced, then you know how to use your
Yeah.
intuition. You know when to use your intuition. You you absorb a lot of information very. So if your crown chakra is also open, what happens is that a lot of spiritual teachings, especially deeper meaning, right, will you can absorb it very
Hmm.
quickly. You can absorb it very thoroughly and in a right manner. Like, you'll get the right information. Yeah, so that happens when your crown chakra is open. So it's amazing. I mean, when you understand chakras, and depending on where you are in your life right now, chakras will be important. Like, at least a few of the chakras will be super important. And then to have a balanced chakra means, because, like I said, like, I'm talking about just a little bit of aspects, but, like, your crown chakra is linked to your brain, so if your crown chakra is not functioning properly, you could have memory issues. So it's like that. So there are many levels to it. It's not just the spiritual level. It's like every chakra has physical level, every chakra has emotions, every chakra has mental level, energy level. So there are different levels to each chakras. So they all
Wow.
need to be balanced for one reason or the other, right? But you have to have them balanced.
So you had
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, obviously we're seeing the importance of this and how it's all connected with honestly so many of our goals. I mean, most people that are going to watch this are wanting to either start a business, or they're having a business and they're wanting to grow it or scale it, and understanding that a lot of the blocks that I honestly work with my clients on a lot, it sounds like they originate a lot of times energetically in these chakras. So this is really fascinating to me. You said earlier that you have a program where you take people kind of through the healing of the chakras. Can you tell us a little bit more about that for anyone who's watching this and they're like, yeah, for root and sacral and solar plexus. And they're just like checking them off, like, all of these are off in some way. And I can feel this. What would you
Yeah.
take them through?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So my program is Heal and Grow. So basically, I heal your chakras Firstly, by giving you information about them on, like I said, all levels, not just like the physical
Okay.
level, not just, okay, root chakra means you have bone issues. It's not that. It goes on many different levels, right? So you start realizing, okay, so this is why this happens, and this is why I go through this physically, and this is why I feel this emotionally, so on and so forth. So when you go to, so I cover like one chakra each week, and on the 6th week, I cover the third eye and the crown chakra. And this is
Okay.
the life coaching. Along with that, I give everyone meditation, like weekly meditation, so that they can balance those chakras specifically. Then I give them a lot of tools on how to
Okay.
balance chakras. They are amazing tools and very simple, because I believe that nobody really has the time these days to, like, even my meditations are like 3-4 minutes long. I don't like to give them
Oh,
half an hour
wow.
meditation, because not everyone will then make the time every day, you know. So if you have like a
Wow.
3 minutes
Yeah.
meditation, I know that you can commit to 3 minutes every day. So I keep short meditations, but super effective. I have tasks that I give on a daily basis. I send them tasks. I am on WhatsApp, because right now all my clients are on WhatsApp. But of course, if I have clients who
Okay.
are not on WhatsApp, then I will find different, different place to be,
Sure.
so that
So many
they
of
can
them.
connect with me and they can get the information. Yeah. So I give them
So they're
tasks every
working
day. I
directly with
send them
you.
reminders every day. Yeah, they're working with me. It's an online program. It's a group coaching program,
Okay.
but they are
Perfect.
all like, we work together each chakra wise. I am a Reiki healer, like I said, so I do Reiki healing for each chakra weekly. So like when it's root chakra, I heal the root chakra and then the overall chakra. So I focus on root chakra. So what happens when I heal, doing Reiki healing, when I do the Reiki healing, what happens is your transformation is much, much faster. Like if I give you all the tools, I give you the meditation, I give you everything. If it takes you, like, let's say, 1 month to balance your root chakra, with the healing, it happens in 1 week. So it really
Wow.
expedites the process of transformation. So I'm not just giving you
Yes.
information about
Collapse in
chakras
time.
and tools that you can do by yourself. Yeah, like I literally give you the push. I do the healing, and like the transformation is so much faster. So
Wow.
yeah, so like I already told you about one of my clients' experience, I have been getting feedback like that on a daily, like rather weekly basis, right? Like the changes that they see, the changes they
Wow.
feel, um, the way, and also like healing has a structure as well, right? Like when you go through healing, imagine if you have accumulated a lot of emotions for years, right? And now I'm trying to heal you of these emotions. I'm trying to release these emotions from you. You will feel a void. You will feel like confused. You will feel weird, you know. But that's the thing, that when a healer does this for you and you are confused, then I also guide you. Like, okay, this, you're feeling this, it's because of this. Then you have clarity. You know why
Okay.
you're going through certain things. Like
Yeah.
a lot of my clients, like when I heal them, they suddenly felt very sad. They felt like, "Oh, I feel so light,
Mm.
but I don't feel like doing anything." And that's because they have so much of stuck energy that when it's gone,
Wow.
they kind of can't deal with something that was part of them, even though it was negative, it was still part of them. And now
Oh,
they
yeah.
feel like weird that it's not there. So they're unable to kind of
Yes.
understand that. So when I explain it to them, yeah, and then I guide them as
Wow.
to how can you balance that, and when you feel this, what can you do on that kind of level. So of course there is counseling as well, and I'm also a tarot reader. So those who are open to tarot counseling, that is super, super amazing, because it's really like the inner world, the it's counseling on a very different level, because it's like telling you about your energy world, about your past, about whatever it is that you want to find out intuitively,
Yeah.
right? So when you yeah, so if someone is open to it, then I also counsel them through tarot, and I give them remedies through tarot. So yeah, so my coaching program is pretty much a mix of all of this. So it's pretty hardcore.
Wow.
It's yeah, it's
Sounds like a program that you've put together for people that are really genuinely wanting to experience radical transformation, and that I love those types
yeah,
of when you go in, you're going to come out on the other side a very different version of yourself. And I think it's interesting that you brought up how when you clear this stuff out, how there's almost like this energy of mourning a loss of like this past version of us. But so many of us understand that in order to have the life that we want, that takes change, right? And a lot of us fear change because we had instability in our childhoods. So there's that stuck in our body there, right? This instability, I'm not safe, probably
yeah,
root chakra from what you're saying. So we feel this, and there's that part of us that doesn't want to let go of what we need to let go of in order to step into that new reality and that new experience, because we're so afraid of that shift and that change creating a level of instability. So it sounds like you're able to kind of facilitate your clients moving through that in a very loving manner, because they're not really having to force themselves to do it. You're able to help that happen by doing a lot of the energy healing work for them. So that sounds like for those
yeah,
that feel like they're really stuck and really blocked, like we sometimes need that help, right? We can only go but so far on our own. We all have blind spots for
absolutely.
our own stuff. Yeah, so having someone
Yeah.
else who can help
Because there
us
are times, I'm a
into
healer, and still there are times. And I was just saying that I'm a healer, and still there are times I feel like I need healing from someone else. Because you feel
me
like
too.
when you're unable to, get through that point, like sometimes you reach a point in life because like I am on a very different level of not just healing but spirituality. So for me, a lot of thing is
Mm-hmm.
destiny, a lot of it is karmic. So certain things are meant to happen, they will happen. And when you
Sure.
have that extra help, when you have someone pushing you through it, it gets a little easier to go through the experiences,
Yes.
because some things are just, they're not in our hands. Certain things are just,
Yes.
they just manifest, they just happen. And at that point
Right.
of time, it's extremely important to realize and understand that you don't have to be all by yourself, and that you can just have this someone to guide you to understanding why, and then to heal you, so that you can also understand why and then go through the process and go on the other side without so much of pain and suffering, because it gets easier when someone heals you,
Sure.
right? So yeah, and it's transformative. I mean, once you have the information, there's no going back. You have the information.
Yeah.
And then whenever you go through certain issues, because I give them tools and I give them like easy ways of how they can manage and keep their chakras balanced. If you just practice these simple things every single day, which doesn't take more than a minute each, or each chakra, or max maybe 2-3 minutes each chakra, wherever you feel blocked, if you just practice it for a week or something, you're good. You're good. So it's very, very, and there's a lot of things, like with numerology, with the numbers you're born with, right? So when you're not born with certain numbers, then automatically those chakras are blocked, or those chakras
Oh
suffer.
wow.
So there's so many levels to this. Yeah, there are many levels to this, right? So like when you add in numerology to this, then you understand, okay, so this is why you go through this, because you automatically your this chakra is not activated because you don't have this number in you.
Oh
So you know that this is the
yeah.
reason you're going through the problem you're going. So yeah, so to have
Yeah.
like all your chakras working great, all your numbers getting activated, like it happens on many, many different levels. And till the time we live like in the human level, like the physical level, we need to keep balancing, we need to keep understanding these things, we need to work on these things. And then of course when you reach a spiritual level where nothing matters. It's all right. Whatever has to happen will happen. When you reach that state, then it's a different world altogether. Then you don't need to balance
Sure.
anything. It doesn't matter if it's balanced or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we have to remember, like you're saying, you go through this, but then you give them practices so that they can maintain what was done and so they continue to hone and work this. It's like the same idea if we were to go to the gym and get the body that we want and then think, cool, I did it and now I can just stop it. That our energy is the same. Like we have to maintain it. We
Yeah.
have to prioritize our energetics and do that every day
Yeah.
because we're constantly being bombarded with environmental situations, friendship situations, romantic life situations, all kinds of stuff is constantly coming at us. So taking the time to intentionally regulate our energetics is really, really important, just like it is our physical body health. So I love that you brought that up. It's really, really important for us to remember.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it just has to become a habit, like when you repetitively,
Yes,
like let's say you do certain things on repetition, it becomes a habit and then that goes in your subconscious. So if you can, if people talk about subconscious and like it's such a, oh my God, subconscious mind, and and it's nothing but your habits that makes your subconscious mind function or work the way it does, right? So if you can actually just change your habits, you can change your subconscious. And so the thing is, like again, with the healing, what happens is it's easier to stick to a habit because the healing is done for you.
yes,
So the
yes,
feeling of I don't feel like, I'm feeling lazy, that goes off. Secondly, on days that maybe you can't do it because you don't have the time, the healing is anyways being done for you, right? So once the balance is there, you will feel so good in your, like within you, that you will in some way continue. Like, of course, I have clients who have the money and they just want to get the healing done. But if you want to have
sure.
control of your own chakras, then you can just take the tools and you can practice them, right? And I teach like very simple self-healing techniques. So all you need to do is just practice them. So
Yeah,
it's as
I
simple
love
as
it.
that. It's simple, but at the same time, it's something that's a huge eye opener. Huge eye opener.
The most powerful stuff are those like simple little things. It's like we don't have to really recreate the wheel. We just actually need to support our body and our energetics to hold their natural resonance. And if we can do that, the body and our energy body, they take care of the rest. So it's really just about learning to support our own natural healing.
Yeah,
And that's beautiful. I love that. Well, thank
absolutely.
you so, so, so much for being on today. This was really, really informative. I loved it. We'll make sure that we're going to get the link to put in the description about your program for those that want to hop inside that with you. I also will make sure that we put down any links to your social media or your website or anything like that for anyone who wants to learn more about you and connect with you to do any future work. It sounds
Yeah.
like they would be in very, very good hands. And I really appreciate you taking the time to educate the audience on something that I think we hear a lot
Thank you.
about,
Thank you so much,
but
Nancy.
yeah, yours, but we don't understand them much. So you really helped with that. So thank you.
Thank